Well, hey, welcome back. Today we're going to look at keeping those clients. Members, clients, customers. Retention equals profit. What is the system for getting results with them and retaining them for the long term? You know, when I sat down with one of my coaches at the last global conference and he was talking to me about his longest running client being 17 years with him, and you sit back and you think, how does someone have a coach for 17 years? Well, if you got a sporting team, you want to always have a coach. And it's the same for a high-performance business. You've got to have a coach no matter what. And that business has grown, you know, hand over fist, but it's grown amazingly, but they still need their coach to be there with them month in, month out. So let's break this down into what it is. So we're going to take a look at the first 6 weeks of coaching. In the first 6 weeks of coaching, we cover off on 6 main steps. And the reason why these are the first 6 weeks is because it's proven again and again. If we skip one of these, we lose retention. If we follow the system and do each of these 6, we get great retention of our customer base. So stay with me as we go through all of those. Then we're going to break down how retention happens, what is the formula for it, and then we're going to look at, oh, hang on, go back one. Then we're going to look at how we stay ahead of them and why that's important for your retention. So as you're thinking about this Action Coach business and you're thinking about it as a firm, you got to know that your team needs retention of clients. And in order for them to do that, whether it's you coaching them or whether it's one of your team coaching them, it really comes down to following a process. Now, we've already run through the 13-week process of how the structure of coaching works, okay? So now let's flip it over and start to look at that initial onboarding structure, because how you start, and I'll put it very simply, how you start this thing is everything. The level of the way you build that relationship right in the beginning is massive to the level of success of what we're doing here. So whether it's a new member or a one-to-one client, the beginning determines the end. We're not, actually this one's really important. If you want a short-term client, tell them you're there to fix their problems. You'll fix their problems. It'll take 8, maybe 12 weeks, 16 weeks, and they're gone because you're just there to fix their problem, alleviate their pain sort of thing, alleviate their stress. You're not there to create a healthy business and make their dreams and goals a reality. What we do, and specifically through, as you learn that onboarding process, we talk about how they're going to get to their dreams and goals, how they're going to make those things a reality so that it's not just about the pain being gone. It's about the great results that you can get long-term by working together long-term. That whole philosophy of if we're a winning team, we always need a coach. And that's going to be the philosophy that you want to build in with this group of people and helps you stay there. So let's break it down. Positioning. So this is a scripted playbook, okay? And what happens is it gives you the ability to, in that first real week of coaching with that person, get them on track, get them thinking the right way, understanding things properly. Anything that was missed during the sales process, the onboarding process, anything that they didn't understand gets explained in this. You can use the PowerPoint system, you can use a flipbook system, but in essence, it's going through all of the things to make sure they know what they're getting, that they don't have this honeymoon theory of, oh, I thought I bought this, and this is what's going to happen. No, this is how it's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. This is what we're going to do, how it's going to work. And it really gets them thinking very clearly about how results happen for them. This last point here, I think it's important to understand that the more experience you get, the more you realize during the onboarding that, hey, this person needs a little bit more knowledge around this, or this person needs me to focus a bit more on that type thing. And as you build a sales team or a business development onboarding team, they will be able to make notes for you that give you a concept of the type of things you want to add into that alignment, just to, and not a lot of things, maybe 1 or 2 focuses that just gives that person something, a bit more clarity around how they're going to get results, okay? We've already mentioned the alignment, but I want to touch on it a little further. You see, the alignment can be done 2 different ways, okay? First is where you meet with the owners and just have that full discussion, 2 to 4 hours, usually somewhere in that time frame, to get them very clear on their dreams, goals, the business, how the business needs to perform in order to make those dreams and goals a reality. You know, one of the first goals we have a business owner set with us is when they want to get off the tools, meaning if they're a dentist, when do they want to stop doing dentistry and run the business, or if they're an accountant, when they want to stop doing that work, or if they're a plumbing contractor, when do they want to get off the tools. The second goal we like setting with them is when they're going to finish the business, meaning when will it be able to run without you? When will you be able to take a vacation, an extended vacation, and come back and the business is still growing and running without you? You know, when you put another CEO or another manager in place to run it for you. So, the second part of it, especially if they've got a larger team, is to do the training day. Now, oftentimes that's broken into 2 half days, because when we first start with a client, taking them offline for a full day often isn't a viable thing, but doing 2 half days can often work and make that a reality for them. But that alignment must happen in that first few weeks. It just has to be in that first couple of weeks, 3 weeks at the outside. If you're going to do the alignment training day, it's okay to be a few weeks later, as long as you've done the owner's alignment right up front. And again, it's a fully scripted process that you'll work through. Of course, you need to add your own flair, add your own ability, and add your own questions to it to get to the depth that you need to hit emotion in those people and get them really excited about their business and their business growth. Community and education. So we often do these two together, okay? Now, why? Well, generally your first event that you're going to have running will be an education style event. The first thing you have, it might be a growth club, it might be a members day, it might be a book club meeting, or you may, as you get bigger, add a new client luncheon or a new client lunch and learn, where new clients will come in and, you know, you'll have a meeting of the directors or of the CEO or that sort of thing. As the company gets bigger, you'll move it in that direction. But getting them introduced to other customers, getting them to feel like they are part of something, that community aspect is really important in the first 6 weeks. Getting them learning something in that first 6 weeks, video learning, book learning, attending a learning program, but getting them studying some new knowledge, because the moment they start to see that this new knowledge is opening up doors for them, it changes the way they perceive the relationship with us. Remember, if we can get them learning on day 1 or week 2, then we know we're going to build a great customer out of that person. We know we're going to build a really strong repeat customer, because a customer that's learning is a great customer for our business. Also, by the way, you can use the podcasts, you can use the books as part of that education right in the beginning, and I think that's often a way to get them softly learning, if that makes sense, and moving them in the right direction. Results. So, whether it be the 3 main things people come to us for is time, team, and money, okay? Now, a lot of people come to us, they've got 1 or 2 of those areas. Some come to us, they've got all 3 areas they need assistance in, but it's time, team, or money. So we have quick-fire solutions for all 3 of those areas, checklisted and systematized for all 3 of those areas, so that when you get someone on board within that first 6 weeks, you want to have some quick-fire results, whether it's time results, whether it's team results, or whether it's financial results for the business. We need some quick-fire results in that period. Because in the positioning, you've talked to them about getting results, and of course you're positioning it being taking a while. What you want to do, obviously, is under-promise and over-deliver from that perspective. But if in the first 6 weeks they're making extra money, or within the first 6 weeks they realize that they took an afternoon off that they never could have before, that makes a dramatic shift in the relationship, okay? Now, from that, where we go to from there is the referrals. Now, why is this important? During the process of actually positioning them, you will talk to them about referrals, and you'll mention to them, hey, a big part of my business is getting referrals of customers just like you, people who are great business owners who want to do even better. And once we start getting results in your business, once we start to see something, I'll be asking you for referrals. I'll be looking for you to give me 2 referrals of people as good or, a type of caliber business owners like yourself that will want to grow their business. That's what I'll be asking you for once you get results. Now, oftentimes in the first 6 weeks, you can ask for that because you'll see tangible results with them. But the very minimum, you want to have some form of testimonial. You want them doing social media posts. You want them doing some sort of an online review, something that locks them into you, something that publicly does it. See, when someone refers someone to you, and when a client or a member refers or brings someone else along to a membership meeting or brings someone along to a growth club with them, they're endorsing you to that person. Therefore, they are changing again their relationship with you. So if we go through those first 6 steps, we get a much higher retention rate of those customers, much higher satisfaction, to lead to ultimately keeping them longer, building your business better. Now, another part of that is that if you have programs that are only one price point, then you're going to lose customers because either I couldn't afford that or it's too small for me. Okay, so I need to be able to, and this is why the product and service offerings vary in price point, because it allows someone to move up when they're ready and it allows them to move back down should they need to. And sometimes it's not moving down because of finances. Sometimes it's just time allocation. Look, Brad, I can't do weekly coaching anymore. If we can go to every 2 weeks, they just need to reduce their time allocation at certain points in time. And that might be because they got too much on. It might be family things. It might be just business time of year. But having that ladder allows them to move up and down based on their needs, wants, and desires. Our formula for retention will always be the same, and it's never going to change that you've got to get results and you got to have a relationship. If you just get results with them and you just coach them on business, yeah, you'll keep them. If you just focus on their personal life and just do goal setting and life goals and all of that stuff, yeah, you'll keep them for a little bit. If you want to keep these people long term, you got to coach them on their business. You got to coach them on their life. You've got to have a relationship of some sort. It's funny. I see some coaching organizations talk about you should never have a relationship with your customers outside of the office. And I'm like, what are you, crazy? The most important thing of a community is relationships. Now, I want you to understand this. It's not just your relationship with them. It could be your team members' relationship. Most often, it's other customers' relationship, other members' relationship with them. If they build a community or you help them become part of a community, hey presto. I love seeing it when I look at Facebook and it's someone's birthday and the community has wished them happy birthday more than all of their friends and family did type thing. That, to me, is a sign of very strong results and retention. So, if we break that down, your results come from following that system of the first 6 weeks, the 13 steps, the planning, all of these things, reusing the script, building them through the 6 steps process and getting them on education. So, community accountability, results, and education really is what builds, those 3 build that results. And then the relationship, of course, it's relationship with other people, but it really does come down to relationship with you and your team. You've got to do that personally. There's no one else that can do that. You've got to be willing to, at those social events or those education events, actually go and chat with people and actually be in their corner and actually be the one that sits next to them at lunch and talks to them about it. And remember, relationship is not about teaching. Relationship's about leadership. Lead them. Get them excited. Get them feeling passionate about their business, and they will feel like they want to be a part of that organization time and time again. So, I think I touched on a lot of this stuff already, but if you want your team to grow, you personally have to grow. Okay? And if you want your clients to grow, you have to grow and your team has to grow and keep ahead. It's like, if a client is reading way more than you, then they get ahead of you and they don't need you as their coach in a lot of cases. Okay, so you've got to continue your knowledge so you're continuously growing and adding value, and therefore almost increasing your price point by reading more, studying more, all of the podcasts, all of the books, all these things. It's important for you to keep your knowledge growing and allocate time to your knowledge acquisition. I like doing it when I'm walking the dog or when I'm driving the car. I listen to the books, I listen to the podcasts, do all that sort of stuff. But you've got to keep growing and learning if you want your team to keep growing and learning too. I think that's an important aspect of it. All right. Lots to learn about this business. You'll get back with your recruiter. You'll obviously get a whole bunch more in this whole thing. I'm out there all the time. If you ever get on one of our meetings where I get to be there, please say hi. Please tell me you watched the videos and it helped you make the decision the whole way through this thing. But listen, World Abundance for Business Re-Education. We're looking for people that want to help us create an amazing world out there by helping business owners learn, helping business people grow and become better at business and buy back their freedom and their life. That's essentially what we're aiming to do. Hopefully that's something you want to do too. And hopefully, as we're the number one, hopefully you can come and join us and help us stay number one and keep leading and growing this industry, this profession. Look forward to having you as part of the Action Coach team. Bye for now.